Hello.
Hello.
Go ahead and introduce yourself and then share with us some of the things you were dealing with prior to becoming a patient.
Okay. Well, my name is Kathy Oakford, and I actually have been to chiropractors on and off for about 30 years. But I was never fixed. I just went like once a week for 30 years on and off, and so it was really good for my low back and a lot of the different pains and things, but I always had this weird headache. And so when I went and they were looking at it, they said I had too much pressure in my head. And so they wanted to do all this nasty stuff, but when I looked up online what were things that I could do myself, Upper Cervical Chiropractic came right up. And it was so funny because I just heard about that like a couple of months earlier. So I was like, well, let's give it a try for my headache. Had no expectations for anything else other than that. I just figured, that would help.
Yeah.
So I just trusted in the system because it made kind of sense how it worked.
Sure.
And my headaches got better. But what I found was like super surprising was like everything started like moving into place sort of naturally. I didn't have to have these like jerky movements or anything to put me into place. It was like this simple little thing that really at the beginning I couldn't believe it was actually going to do anything, but I really, did. So
yeah.
I was just super shocked that it helped my low back too.
Yeah.
So,
and you don't really get your low back adjusted.
No. It's like one little thing at the top of my neck, which makes no sense to me whatsoever, but it works.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to probably move into your next thing.
Yeah. So you've been under care a couple years, on and off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Share with us how you're doing now.
Well, I'm doing great now, actually. I barely come in here anymore, honestly. Maybe once or twice, every other month or so.
Yeah.
I can tell when I'm out of alignment. I'm starting to learn that any ache or pain anywhere probably means I'm out of alignment, even if I could write it off to something else, a knee pain, ankle, foot, wrist, anything. It's so funny because once I get into alignment, it just gets back into place again.
That's awesome.
So
what would you say to someone who's thinking about upper cervical care for themselves?
I would definitely suggest it. Even if you see another chiropractor, just give it a try, And just a little story, about 2 or so years ago, after I was receiving care and as things were adjusting, I had really bad knee problems. And a friend of mine at work had the same problem with knee problems. I chose chiropractic. She chose not to because she thought it would be too expensive.
Okay.
And she has now had her knees replaced and still has problems, and my knees are just fine and they fix themselves naturally, and I'm sure it cost me thousands less than it did her. So
sure.
It's totally worth it. It's the one thing that I make sure I do it with my health care reimbursement. I make sure every year it's going to be taken care of, and I have no problems.
That's awesome.
So that's what I would suggest.
I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing. That's awesome.
You're very welcome.